Hi, Rick. This is Mom. Can you believe that you have been dead 30 years a week from tomorrow? It's shocking. I miss you every day. I love you every moment of every day. Dad and I have been married almost 52 years next month. And that's shocking too. When you died, and you were only 20, and when you died on October 29, 1983, we had been married only 22 years. And we weren't going to make it because I wanted to cry all the time. I wanted to talk about you all the time. The good, the things that we should have done differently. And Dad couldn't handle it. And every time I tried to talk to him, he would get mad at me. He felt like I was attacking him and blaming him. And I wasn't. And a year after Rick died, after you died, a year after you died, I was watching the presidential debates on TV, and I noticed that when one candidate was talking, it was 1984, when one candidate was talking, the other one could not talk, no matter what they said, even if it was a big fat lie. And it probably was. But the other person could take notes. And then when the timer went off, they would have to stop talking, and the second candidate could talk and could address those things that perhaps the first candidate talked about, or whatever they wanted. A light bulb came on, and I thought, I need to talk to Dad, your dad, my husband, because 87% of the people who lose a child divorce, and we had 3 other children. Some way we had to make it. And I know that you would want us to make it. I ran to the store, bought a timer, and went to Dad's office. He had his own landscape office at the time, as you know, and told him my idea. I'd like to talk for 5 minutes, and you can't talk to me. You can't say anything no matter what I say. And then when the timer goes off, Carl, then it's going to be your turn. And then you can have 5 minutes, and I can't talk. I can't say anything no matter what you say. But we can take notes. But under any circumstance, no circumstance, could we interrupt no matter what. And oh, what a relief it was, Rick. I talked for 5 minutes, and I said everything. And then the timer went off, and then Carl talked for 5 minutes, and then the timer went off. Then I talked for another 5 minutes, and the timer went off. And then Carl talked for another 5 minutes, and he said whatever he wanted. And we went 5 minutes for me, 5 minutes for Dad, 5 minutes for me, 5 minutes for Dad, 5 minutes for me, 5 minutes for Dad. For over 4 hours at first time. And we've been having time to talks ever since. For 29 years now. And it has saved us, made us closer. And the thing is that you don't have to, I don't even want to talk about the timer anymore. I want to talk about you. I can't believe that it's been almost 30 years. And I love you so much, but I know you know that now, don't you? When you came home that night, at midnight, and had ended up on the side of the house, we thought you were just drunk and had passed out. And Rhonda had come in the house after a cheerleading rehearsal and said, "You won't believe it, but Rick is on the side of the house and he's thrown up or something and he's groaning or whatever." I don't remember exactly. But Dad and I went downstairs and to the side of the house and we helped you up. And Dad said that you said, "What's the matter, Dad?" And Dad said, "We're just putting you to bed, you're drunk." And then you said it twice, "What's the matter, Dad?" And we just said, "Well, you're drunk and we're going to put you to bed." I don't know if you remember that. I guess you wouldn't, because you only think of good things now. Your bedroom was downstairs. The rest of us, our bedrooms were upstairs. So we helped you to bed. Put you in bed. And I turned the fan on because I know that you liked it on when you were sleeping. And I hesitated at the door. Both Dad and I did, and we didn't know. We just thought you were drunk, need to sleep it off, and that tomorrow morning we're going to tell you how bad you were and how sick you were, and better not do it again. It wasn't worth it. We went upstairs, went to bed. The girls and Wyman were already asleep upstairs. And I didn't go to sleep because you were groaning, making sounds like you were hurting. And Rick, I didn't know. I didn't know that you needed to go to the hospital. I didn't know that you had taken drugs or whatever. Nobody has taken responsibility for that. Not one of your friends has come to us and told us exactly what happened. But somebody brought you home that night because you had ridden your bike, and they brought you home, and the bike was there and just dropped you off to die. Why didn't they take you to the hospital? Or why didn't they just say, "Mrs. Gentry, Mr. Gentry, Rick is in trouble, take him to the hospital"? Nobody told us. And we let you die at home in your own bed. Rick, I will tell the whole world I love you. I promise.